We're live. Wow, wonderful. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Come in. We have a very powerful, awesome show for you tonight. We're just getting comfy. So grab yourself a drink of choice. Tonight I'm having probiotic strawberry banana, and Greg's having
Dole banana and pineapple juice.
There you go, with a little shot of what?
Southern Comfort.
Southern Comfort. So whatever you
Southern
need
Comfort
to do.
Keep us a little warm on a chilly winter night.
It is chilly tonight, isn't it?
North Carolina, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it
a
is.
little warm.
Although we've got the fan
Now it's
going.
a little warm. We have the fire going. Now we got the fan
wow,
going.
look at everybody. Hi, Lynn. We've got Mike here. Sylvia.
Wow, we got a lot of people coming on.
Wow.
That's great.
So this is Greg.
Pleasure to meet you.
And I'm Jennifer. And we are doing the 52 words. Where's the book, honey?
The book, where did you do it? The book?
I have the book. Okay, so what we're doing, in case you missed this last week, is we met Jason Hine, the author of this book, and what we do is we go through this book every week, and we choose the next word, and we then create a subliminal vision board with our subliminal vision board app. And it's just been a really interesting...
Well, especially because every word has different meanings to everybody. So this is quite a new experiment that we're doing.
Hi, Bruce.
With the book here. And especially
Hi,
adding
Melissa.
the Subliminal Vision Boards app to it. It makes it all the more interesting.
So we're the creators of the Subliminal Vision Boards app. And we just thought it would be an amazing tool to use with this book. So I'm going to put the links for the Amazon to purchase the book and our app as well at the end of this video. So you can do this with us, because what we learned is that, like Greg was saying, hi, Mom.
Hi, Nancy.
Love you too.
Nice to see you out here.
So what we realized is that, like Greg was saying, we have different perspectives and ideas of what certain words mean to us by our own experiences in life, right? So tonight's word is
anger.
Anger.
Yes, and wow, anger means so many different things for so many different people.
Right. Some people are still living in anger. Some people have just released anger.
Some people are full of anger.
Some people are full of anger.
Some people don't know how to let anger go. Some people
don't even know to let it go. So I think some people even live with anger inside of them, and they make that just who they are, right? So this is a very interactive workshop, per se. So let's talk to you guys first, right? So do you hold any anger inside of you for a certain someone, or maybe even for yourself, right? Because a lot of times we're our worst critic. And a lot of the times it's the anger that really impedes us from moving forward in our life. So let's wait a little bit. We've got a couple people here. Mom, Nancy. Nancy Castellari, everyone, is my mother. And so, Mom, anger is like a disease. Very true. Anger is a disease.
Christy just joined. Nice.
Hi, Christy.
Vera.
Oh, Vera. Hi, sweetie. Oh, this is beautiful. All right, so let's ask each other. So, do you have any anger inside of you right now?
No, I'll be honest with you. I don't have any anger inside of me. Anger to me is an emotion that, if you look at it from a standpoint of feeling the way you want to feel, anger only makes you more depressive, and it's not something that is good, because it how am I going to explain it? It makes you feel bad, and it makes the people around you feel bad. It's not a healthy feeling, and it's not something that I like to feel.
Right.
So when I feel anger, I will step back and I'll look at the situation and I'll say, what is the path of least resistance for me to go down right now at this time?
Right. So anger is generally a very low vibrational
Very low
emotion. And as Nancy said, it's a disease. It's a very toxic emotion that can really impact a relationship and impact your own health as well.
Yeah, very much can affect your well-being.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, well, we just had Christy and Melissa join.
Wow, hi
And
Anita. Wow, yay.
Excellent.
So come on everybody, share this video out because there are so many people who really need to connect with the power of words again, because I think we as just I don't know, as the masses, we take for granted words and we forget how important and impactful words are, because words are energy. And especially when you say I'm angry at something or someone.
Especially using the words I am before the word angry.
Right, so I am is the most important two words that you can do or say out there in the universe, and for yourself as well.
Because it's letting the universe know exactly how you feel or what you want. So saying I am angry, the universe is going to reply right back to you, yes, you are angry.
You are angry. Yeah, so let's, hi Joe. So let's connect with you guys. So first of all, can you thumbs up so that we know that you can hear us okay? Because you know how these complete computers and things are on, things aren't. So can you just thumbs up or heart us just to know that we're good? Okay, yay, yay,
Awesome.
Okay. Beautiful, thank you. Okay, so we're going to go through the anger chapter. Now, we don't read the whole chapter because the idea is that everyone has their own perspective, and we want you to go purchase this book, and we want you to go download our app so that you can experience the magic and the impact that this book, along with our Subliminal Vision Boards app, has, and so that you can learn a different perspective of these powerful 52 words, and then use our app to reprogram your subconscious mind and retrain your mind with the words and the powerful and positive impact and the positive way that you can bring these words into your life.
Yes, Bruce, you're right.
So,
sometimes anger is the quick fire that purifies something.
Very true.
Very true.
So yeah, so anger in my experience, when I reach a level of anger in my life, that to me is a massive sign that says something needs to change. To me, anger is an action emotion for me. If I get to the point where I am angry, and it doesn't happen very often because I've learned to be pretty balanced, and I don't allow myself to lower to that vibration. I've worked really hard. Hi, sweetie. Hi, Holman. Hi, Deanne. Then I can let it go. Bruce, exactly. So with anger, for me, I've learned that it's an action emotion for me. When I become angry at anything or anyone, I know that I need to choose an action to either remove myself from the situation or shift my perspective or just let it go or diminish it somehow, to choose some actions that will bring that level of anger to the core of what it really is. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Is, to me, when I hear the word anger, I see this almost like a burst of energy, a negative ball of energy. But with any kind of negative energy, or any energy really, there's a core to it, right? So in my experience, when I think of anger, and what I've noticed is that anger is just a result of something that's at the core. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight, too.
That can be changed within a second.
That's
the beautiful part.
Very true. Yes. Very true. But it's that flame. It's that poof, right? That you feel that, right? That. And when that happens, I know where I'm at here. When that happens, you wanna. The best thing that you can do is to look into that anger and delve into it, into the core of it, right? It's kind of like when you hurt yourself, right? And you hurt your back. you know how when you hurt your back and your whole back hurts at one point, but then as it starts healing, you learn that there was a certain point of where it started. And to me, to really let go of that anger is to find that core. So we're going to open up our book. So what we do is, I left my book at work. I was creating my subliminal vision boards, and I was wanting to get one more quote from this book, and I left my book at work. So we're sharing our book tonight.
We have mine, so mine
so
works.
I'm not angry about it. So we're going to use Greg's book, and we've highlighted it. He's green, his favorite color, and I'm purple. And we're just going to go through and take pieces that really touched us. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, sweetie. Hi, Mike.
And Deanne also.
Wow. Nice to see you, Mike. This is great.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. Appreciate it.
So tonight we're talking anger. So share this out and let's get people to really learn how to harness that word in a positive way instead of the negative connotations that we normally associate it with, right? Okay. All right, so Greg, why don't you go first?
Sure.
So,
let me read what I have.
So what we do.
What anger means to me.
So what we do is we love this book, first of all, because I love the feel of it, and I love the fact you can hold it and bend it. I love books. So what we do is we've used this as a workbook. So before we even start the chapter, before we even read the definition, we look within and we just write out what we think the word means for us. And then we can look back and see how that perspective has shifted by reading the rest of the chapter, which is only 3 pages, by the way. So this is
very quick. So
very
it's
quick.
Not like 10 or 15 pages.
Right.
You can read this in a matter of 5 minutes.
Right. But there's a lot of good knowledge in it. And it's a powerful 3 pages. And then when you reprogram your subconscious mind with it, it's really neat to see.
Yeah, we're taking it to the next level by using our app with it.
Right, right, yeah. Okay, so go ahead, Greg.
All right, I'm going to read what anger means to me.
And then I'll do the same.
Anger to me is a means of expression, which can be used in a positive or negative manner. I choose to step back and to look at my situation and go with what will make my next move onto the path of least resistance. So basically what I'm saying is that whenever I get into a situation of anger, I don't want to express myself in a negative way. So I'll always step back, look at what I see, and figure out what's the best way to make this the easiest transition to where the person I'm with, I'm not going to make angry, and it's going to make me a better person by explaining my situation and moving forward, that we can both be on the same level.
Now, have you always been this way?
Always.
You've always been this
I've
controlled?
always been very balanced in my life. You can't let anger get to you, because once it gets inside of you, it's a very toxic poison, I believe. And
he's been through a lot in his life. Do you want to tell them a little bit? I mean, these are people that have also gone through a lot, what you've gone through.
Oh, I've gone through, yeah, very much a lot. I mean, I've had my son who was gone through he was a heroin addict, gone through divorce. I've gone through, my kids not talking to me.
Because your ex-wife kind of turned them against him.
Right. So when situations like these arise, you cannot go one-sided.
Good, Shar.
Because there's people who do go one-sided, and that's what puts your life off balance. It's always good to be balanced, because if you're not balanced, you're going to be the one who's depressed, and you're always going to be the one person who's, everyone's going to say, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? You can't live your life like that. You have to be balanced and move forward from that point on. It's very important for your own well-being and your health. Because if you're not, when you're angry, you're not a healthy person. You're not yourself.
Right. And I think what I'm hearing a lot about that, and I'm wondering if you are too, what he's saying is that you have the power to shift that, right? So anger is a response to something that has happened, whether it's an environmental, anger eats you up.
It sure does.
Absolutely.
It does.
And it's a response that you choose to allow into your life at a level that you allow it, right?
And when Jennifer says choose, meaning you have choices. You can go down the path of staying angry,
right,
or you can step back and reevaluate your situation.
and realize what that anger is doing to you and that relationship as well.
Because if you don't, anger can make you sick, and sick
Yes.
can lead to more detrimental things within your life.
Not only that, guys, but we are very strong believers of the law of attraction. And when you're focusing on anger, right, that idiot that cut you off at work, or that mean boss, or that shitty response that your loved one gave you. I mean, it's just life, right?
Mindfulness, exactly.
Right, mindfulness, Mike. You cannot control other people's reactions. And when you finally can accept that, right, because it's a lot of acceptance that you can't control that person that cut you off, but you can control, well, how you react to that, right? All right, so I'm going to read you what I thought of.
Let me hear what you have to say about anger.
Right, we do this separately, by the way, too. We write our stuff down separately, and then we also create our subliminal vision boards separately, and then we do it our own thing. Because again, guys, everyone has their own experiences to these words, and it is our experiences and the way that we've allowed certain things to affect us over and over again, like a layer, that really changes, how we live in our life. So we do everything separate here. So, okay, so I wrote...
Separate but together.
Separate but together.
There you go.
Exactly. All right, so what I wrote was anger. So what I wrote is disappointment or hurt unresolved. Because to me, that's the core. Whenever I felt angry, right, I'm usually disappointed. That's really what the basis of it is. That I'm either disappointed in myself, disappointed in the way that things happened in my life, or a result that happened, or I'm hurt, right? Someone hurt me really deeply, and that made me angry. Because anger is feeling. Anger is to me, it's that flare. When I get hurt, I either shut down or you flare out, right? So that's what I wrote. And then I also wrote symptoms of anger, right? So for me, anger is shallow breathing. I can't breathe right. I tense up, and I'm shaking, and that was my other one. I shake.
That's when I always have to cuddle you.
Oh, I don't get angry. Stop it. He's kidding. I also tunnel vision. Now, I lived with a very angry father all my life. He was a very angry man, and he brought a lot of emotional and mental and even physical abuse to the family. However, I loved him dearly. And I used to always say, if I can understand why he is like he is, then I can love him, and I can get it. And he had a lot of trauma in his life. His first wife, I believe he loved very dearly, died in a fire with his 1-year-old son. And he never let that go. He never could let that go. So he had so much pain that was built inside of him that he never released. He never accepted it. He never just let that go. And so whenever something happened that he didn't have control over, he would become very angry and abusive, and he would, attack the one that was around him. Deanne, I'll even say to myself, slow down breathing. There you go. Exactly.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Slow down.
So, right.
Breathe.
So I learned very early on, when I used to see my dad, he used to say, I'm seeing red. And that was his little sign that said, don't talk to him, don't even continue. And then, sometimes with my mom, she would continue and he would blow up. And it was his anger, right? And so what I sensed to him was a tunnel vision. And that was the other thing that I wrote down, tunnel vision. When you're angry, when you really allowed yourself to be at um, that momentum, right? That lower negative vibrational momentum in your life, you only see what is causing you to be angry. And that is something, if you can recognize that, that's really, really important. So, when you're angry, work on branching out a little bit, and that takes perspective for me to do that. And then I also wrote a loss of control, imbalance, and separation, because anger only separates us. When you reach that level with someone that you're angry, you're no longer connected with them. You're no longer one, even though we always are one with everybody. But vibrationally, you're at such a low vibration that you are disconnecting yourself, not only from the person that is making you angry or allowing yourself, right, to make you angry, but you're also disconnecting yourself from your higher source, from your higher being, from the true, positive, beautiful light and love that you are. Anger is the opposite of who you really are inside. It's a beautiful gift because, like I said, when you're angry, that's a big key that says, okay, I need to snap out of this. I am not me, right? Anger is not me. Think of that. That's not really who you are inside.
That's a very good point of view. Anger is not. Yeah, I'll remember that one.
Nice. It just kind of came out.
No, I like that.
Nice.
That's very.
Yeah, anger is not
perspective.
me. It's not you.
No, like I was saying, you need to step back. So now when I step back, I'm going to say anger is not me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Nice. Okay, so when you're doing these chapters, each chapter comes with a definition, a Bible verse, and a food for thought from the author himself, Jason Tyne. So, hi, Carla. Hi, Cynthia. We're talking about anger tonight. So feel free to leave your responses, comment what you'd like. If you want to add a little something, we are, I think, innate.
We're very open. So if you have comments, please do say your comments.
Yeah.
We're students of the word also. So whatever we can learn, we can all learn together.
Absolutely. And we are innate life coaches. So, we would love to be able to connect with you. And maybe we could say a little something that maybe you haven't heard it in that perspective. And maybe that's what clicks for you. That's our goal.
Yes, Deanne. The book is called 52 Words.
52 Words. And our app is Subliminal Vision Boards, and we'll show you how we're doing it.
52 words right
52.
there.
He's covering it. And then Subliminal Vision Boards.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, so the definition of anger, which I thought was funny, is to make somebody angry, right? So again, you are the somebody. You are making somebody angry. It always starts with you. Everything is within. Oh, good, Deanne. You have the app. Excellent. So everything starts with you. Now I actually like the Bible verse this time. I'm gonna read the Bible verse.
Please do.
So the Bible verse that Jason Tyne had written. Okay, Nancy, seeing someone in rage brings me fear. Right. So that's very true. So you want to leave that person, right? So when that person is in rage, you have to choose to take an action at that point. Right? If someone is enraged, then you need to walk away, leave that person, let them calm down before you can, you need to listen to your gut. That is one of the main things too, guys, is you can't control anyone, but you can always control yourself. And so always listen to that intuition inside of you. Always listen to that gut inside of you. If your gut is saying, not a good vibration, not a good energy.
Well, I was just going to
right?
You feel the energy.
You feel the energy. If your gut is, and your intuition is telling you, this is not a good person to be around right now, then you need to make that move away. You need to decide what is your action, not focusing on what they're doing, but what are you going to do next? Nancy, never confront them. Yeah, never confront them when they're in that state of mind. Right. Exactly. Okay, so this was the Bible verse, and I really like this one. Get rid of all bitterness, rage, and anger, brawling and slander, along with every form of malice. And that is Ephesians 4:31.
Ephesians, I think.
Ephesians? Yeah, probably Ephesians. I don't know. I don't know the Bible too well. Ephesians?
I believe that's how you, Ephesians 4:31.
Niv? Niv, N-I-V. Not quite sure what that means, but if you know the Bible, that's where it is. And so that is a really good one. So what I got out of that is that anger has many different masks, many different forms, many different levels, right? Anger is not just one level, one way. Anger is a bitterness. It's a rage. It's a malice. It's a toxin. It's that lower energy. It's that you know what that is. You know what that feels
That
like for
starts
you.
to take over you if you don't control it.
Right. And you have the power to
Right.
control
Once
it.
you feel that anger, you need to really notice it and take over. Because if you don't, it's going to bring you down, and it's going to bring your emotions down, and it's going to bring all around you down.
Right. And you're just going to attract more of that vibration around you because we are energy beings, vibrational beings in a vibrational universe. So when you're focusing on that anger consistently, then you're just going to bring more of that into your reality. Anger turns your heart cold. Well, it can. It can turn your heart cold. It can make you numb. It can make you sick. It can make you not want to love again. It can make you fearful.
Yeah, if you decide to keep it in you.
If you hold on to it. And the other thing, anger can even be a judgment, right? So when you judge someone, you're putting a little bit of anger, a little bit of spite, a little bit of discordance, a little bit of separation from you. So even when you're judging someone, that's a little bit of anger coming out of you. Because again, anger has many different sides to it, but there's always a core. There's always a core to it. So when you become angry or you see someone with anger, if you can look at that as a different perspective and look at the anger, do not just get rid of it. Do not just have a happy day. I'm angry, but I'm just going to be happy. That doesn't always work. Sometimes you have to stare the anger through so that you can really connect with that core of why. Why are you angry? Again, anger is just a response. It's just an emotion. What you want to do is, one, say, why am I angry? And find out what that is.
And
right?
then make the shift.
And then you take action, either to confront the person, or to let it go, or to somehow change it. There's only three real ways you can do anything. You either can let it go, change it, or confront it, right? So that's kind of where you want to go with your anger. The food for thought. You want to read the food for thought?
Sure, that'd be great.
Okay, this is the author's, this is Jason Tynes' food for thought of the word anger. And feel free, guys, message away. Anger masks insecurity. Yeah, Nancy, exactly. Anger masks insecurity. A lot of the times, again, it's within, and sometimes with insecurity, it's a mirror, right? You mirror yourself onto someone else. So when you're around someone angry, that's the best time to look within because one, you're attracting that into your life. And two, we are mirrors of each other. So what you're angry to someone else about, you need to turn that around and look at it within you and find out why that bothers you so much and what you need to work on within, because that's what we are. We're all great teachers of each other, and everyone that you meet in life, you're a teacher and you're a student. And a lot of times, that's the big thing.
Sure. All right, I'm going to read the food for thought for the word anger. Anger is an acid.
Hi, Tim. Welcome, sweetie. Hi, Samantha. Go ahead, sorry.
No, not a problem. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. That's a quote from Mark Twain.
Let's say that again.
Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. Mark Twain.
Wow.
That's right.
So what I get from that is that when you're angry, right, it's hurting you more than them. That's really what it's about. Even though anger is an emotion and you're deflecting that onto somebody, in the end, having that low vibration and that strong emotion that's negative inside you is really going to harm your vessel, right? This is what we are. We're vessels. Our bodies are vessels. And he was very smart. He knew that. He knew that when you're putting anger onto somebody, you're actually harming your vessel more than pouring that anger onto somebody else. Samantha, that's true. Yeah, exactly. So what we do, we use this as a workbook. We highlight little parts that grabbed us. And so I had written.
Yeah, so you got the first one.
I had the first one, then we'll just kind of go back and
Sure.
forth. Okay. So what grabbed me on this was, yeah, Nancy, isn't that a great quote? Okay, excuse me, sorry. All right, what grabbed me was, here, listen to this. It is worth noting that pouring your anger out on other people does not diminish the amount of anger that is inside of you. As a matter of fact, the more you unleash it, the more it actually grows. And I don't think we really think about that.
No,
I love that.
That really makes sense because what you were just saying, when you release it, you would think that by releasing it, you're getting rid of it, but you're not getting rid of it. You're only expanding it within inside of you.
Right, because it harms you.
It
harms you to release that. Hi, Bruce. Looking at the why is very powerful. I have a very close friend who may be dying. I'm sorry. And I've been feeling many things, and it was also interesting to see a flash of anger come through, right? So a lot of the times, Bruce too, Shar, yeah, exactly. So we get angry for the unknown, right? Or when we can't understand something.
Especially in a situation like Bruce's there. I mean,
yeah,
it's very frustrating.
That can bring us anger.
When you can't understand why someone else so close to you is suffering, it makes you angry. Yeah, no, sorry that you're going through that, Bruce.
Sorry your friend's going through that too.
Yeah, well, both of you. I mean, it's a very rough situation.
Many things is also interesting to see a flash of anger. So again, anger is not the emotion that you really want to have. Now, you don't want to judge your anger. That's probably one of the main things I think is really important too, is that whatever emotion that we feel, right, that's just a GPS system of our own souls telling us where we are in the situation or where we are as far as being aligned to our source or our higher being. And so feeling that anger is okay. It's staying there.
I think it's a natural instinct.
It is a natural instinct.
Definitely a natural instinct.
I think, especially when you're in pain, because Bruce, what that anger really is hurt. You're in pain.
Right, because I think there's different forms of anger. It's not just anger. There's anger where you're feeling mean towards somebody. There's anger where you're feeling sad.
Right.
So it's not, anger can have many different meanings.
But anger is a very hard emotion to have. So, Bruce, if you can look at that anger with a perspective of really what it is, right? It's a feeling of not having control of having your friend going through so much. It's feeling, really sad. Really, you're hurt, and you're hurt for your friend too. And sometimes if we can just take away that flare of anger, because your friend that's dying, sweetheart, is not wanting you to feel anger. Your friend is going through something that's on
beyond anger.
beyond anger, and there is something to be said of everyone has their path, and it's hard. It's hard to accept that. I remember when my father passed on, we went to the store, and it was the next morning, and I walked around in the store, and I was angry. I remember saying to you, how can people even buy groceries right now? How can they? Don't they know that my father passed on? Don't they know this? Like how does somebody just, I don't know, like how does life go on with something like that, you know? And but there was sadness. There was just unspeakable sadness. I wasn't angry at God. I wasn't angry at my father, of course not. Um, but he was in a lot of pain. And when I can shift that perspective, I realized that I was just really sad and loss of control and loss for words, and that I wasn't mad at anybody. However, if someone had pissed me off at that point, right, and I'm already flaring up at that point, you don't want to be at that place. And so what I did was, even with my father passing on, I quickly realized that this is hurting me, and that my father would not want me to feel these things. He was in a lot of pain. It was his time, and whether I want to agree with that or not, that's what it was. And so when I was able to accept that and realize that I want more for me and he wants more for me, then I was able to pull in that power that I have, send love to him, and shift that. And maybe that'll help you, Bruce. I hope it does, honey. Hi, Anna. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Jana. Wow, everyone's here. Hi, Teeny. All right, so I thought that was really interesting. And then, again, what you put your attention to. And then I wrote momentum of a low vibration, because that's what anger is. It's that continuous buildup of that low vibration. And like you were saying, you can snap out of that by simply shifting your perspective. Again, once you can find that core, and for me, a lot of times with anger, it's disappointment and it's hurt and confusion and overwhelming. Okay, there's a little bit more than just a few, because there's many faces and many levels to it.
Many levels of anger. It's a matter of stepping back and looking at your situation and deciding, do I want to stay angry, or do I want to feel better and make the person I'm with feel better? Because when you're angry, you emit an energy, a negative energy.
Right.
So
Very true.
Anger is very deep expression.
And there's a lot of ways.
Very deep expression.
That you're welcome, Bruce. Hi, Lucky. There's a lot of ways that you can release anger too. One of my girlfriend, my dear girlfriend, we used to go. We were in high school, and we were kind of bad kids, and we cut school every once in a while. And we would go.
You would cut school?
Yeah, every once in a while.
Wow.
But we would go up to Santa Cruz, and we would go to the ocean, because to me the ocean was just such a beautiful space of clearing any confusion, and just being able to zone into, they call it a blue space, right? To be able to breathe with the the motion of the waves, and hearing the birds, and just the view itself is amazing. And what we would do is we would write a letter to someone that we were angry or hurt about, and we would walk it down. I don't even think you know about this.
No, I was just going to say, this is all brand new to me. You've never told me. You always said you'd go to Santa Cruz?
Yeah, Santa Cruz,
right.
Exactly. We would walk it down to the water, and we would release it into the water. And there was something so beautiful and symbolic about seeing my words, my letter to that person. And the ink just starts to kind of smear and starts to kind of get wet, and the wave kind of carries it forward and carries it back. And there was something about just seeing those words and that feeling, right, released out of me onto the paper, and then just letting nature, letting life,
go,
letting it go,
basically.
right? And there's so many ways you can do that. You can do that through the ocean. You can do it with a fire. You can write a letter. Be careful, of course, but get like a can or something and burn it and let it just release all of that out of you into the universe, out of you. That's the most important, out of you, and whatever that means for you. But if you are feeling an anger about something or someone, this is a sign tonight while you're here, because you've attracted us to you, because you're here with us today or tonight. And this is a sign for you that it's time to let that go, because anger can really impede your process. If you're focusing on what someone has hurt you or done to you, you are focusing on that instead of moving forward. Lucky, I feel that anger can be a positive emotion. Anger can move us into action. Absolutely, Lucky.
Definitely can, especially.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Samantha, amen. Let go and let the universe take care of you. Yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of what I had written on this. Thank you for adding me. You're welcome, Karina. Welcome, welcome. And share this, guys. Get this out there, because there are so many people. I mean, just look at the shooting that happened today at the church in Texas. You know, we are living in a very anger and fear-based world right now, in some ways. In a lot of ways, people are evolving, people are expanding, people are growing, there's more love, right? But for the part that is, because everything's yin and yang, there is a balance, right? What you want to do is focus on what you're doing for you. Because when you're taking care of you, then you're adding love and a higher vibration to the universe. It always starts from within, though. So this is a very powerful time for you to release any anger, any frustration, whatever someone's done to you. I don't care if you've been raped, molested, abused. This is all because you were meant to be who you are. You are so strong, and you overcame that. And so it's time for you to shift that and realize the strength within and let that go.
You here today.
You are, exactly. And you don't know what the other ones have gone through. My father was abused by his parents. You have to only focus on you and focus on where you're going in your future, because whatever someone else has done back there, you need to let that go. That is not where you are now. Char, I told you I needed this tonight. Good, sweetie. Tim, universe.
Well, no, Tim had mentioned that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
His house is in, I believe you said.
Oh, foreclosure, right? Praying the universe saves my house from. Tim, are you using the app? Did you download our app? And did you do? I have a house board, and I'm employed. And are you using that every night? Because
the app is very important.
It's really going to help you,
because it retrains your subconscious mind.
Do you want to take this one? Samantha says, brother on drugs hurts our family. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, Samantha, like I was saying before, my son was a heroin addict, recovering now, thank God.
Yeah, for years and years.
Very hard. It's
hard on the family.
Does your brother live with you? Or is he out of the house?
Nevada, the app is for Android and iOS. It's called Subliminal Vision Boards. I'll post the link after this video up on the top, okay? But yeah, Samantha, are you living with your brother, or does your brother live with you? Karina, raped, abused, forced to be gang raped, held hostage at knife point with a machete. Oh, jeez, Karina. Whew, that's heavy. Yes, same here. Lives with my mom. You know what, Karina? You are so strong, and you are so amazing, and you overcame that. Focus on the fact that you are alive today, and you can help so many people by loving yourself and letting that go. You just got to let that go.
Yes, Samantha, I understand. You know, your brother's living with your mom.
Thanks, Mom.
And it's a hard situation, because you can't change your brother. Your brother is going to be the only one that's going to want to change himself. I've tried changing my son. I even went on Dr. Phil. And
Yeah.
Dr. Phil, I was on TV. As crazy as that sounds, was not planning on ever going on TV, but when
Not like
the
that.
show approached me and wanted me to go on because they were doing a special on heroin use in the city of Simi Valley in California, I decided, we have nothing to lose here. Let's give this a shot because I know Dr. Phil likes to help people. So we went on the show. Dr. Phil helped my son, took him the same day they went out to, I think it was in Texas on Paris Island. And then 2 days later, he was gone because he wasn't ready. It's a matter of being ready, and my son wasn't ready for it. So
He was very angry
you can
too.
only support your brother as much as possible, and always do support him because they need the support and the love that you can give them. It's
To
just
a
a
point
matter.
though
It's a
too,
matter.
because a lot of times they steal from you.
I
They can
understand that,
really hurt you
but it's the
too.
drugs that's doing that because I'm sure her brother is
Right.
not a thief by nature.
Right.
Drugs. It's the drugs
But
that
that
make
person
you
is still
do.
around you, so do you bring that person around you that's stealing, whether it's the drugs
No, it's
or
very hard because he stole from me. He came at
yeah,
me with a knife one day.
I
You
know.
were there.
I know.
Yeah. No,
I was.
it's a rough situation, but all you can do is give that person love. And
But he also gave him hard love too. He said, I mean, you have to. Yeah, you gave love emotionally, but you also stood up for yourself and
oh yeah,
said,
no, I said
"You're not
I'm
going to
not
be
going
here
to live
anymore." It
here.
got to a point where he said, "You're out. Like I love you. I'm always here for you, but I can't be treated this way."
And I hope your
Right?
mom is doing the same because,
Yeah.
dealing with someone who
Hi,
is on
Don.
drugs, you're not the same person. And, you know your brother's inside there
Right.
and the drugs are taking over. So don't look at your brother as a bad person. Don't. Please don't, because he's not.
Send him love, but
Send him
also
love
love
and
yourself
love yourself
too.
and try and give him help and talk to him as much as you can and try and be there for him. But ultimately, it's going to be your brother that makes the decision
You have
because
to.
there will come a time when he does give in and he'll get tired of the lifestyle. It'll change. But you don't know when that time is going to come. It will just happen.
And there's not a whole lot you can do when they're that far gone, is
No,
there?
there's not much you can do because when they're out on the streets doing what they do, they're their own
You can't,
person.
especially if they're an adult. You can't. There's not a lot you can do.
But your mother, I hope she doesn't give him money to support him. He needs to do things on his own. That's the thing. When people are supporting a drug addict by giving them money and, you know, giving them everything they need, it makes it that much easier for them.
Okay, Samantha, my mom is nervous all the time. We can't fix it. Wow, you guys are coming in quick. Hold on one second. You're welcome, Karina. Um, um, Char, anger for the stealing, the lying. I just care about the kids. Karina, my doctor wrongly diagnosed me with bipolar disorder and gave me drugs for 20 years. I just got re-diagnosed with PTSD and now I don't need drugs. I am strong. Yes, you are, Karina. And Karina, please download our app. We are really trying to get it actually into the whole veterans because there's so many veterans that are dealing with PTSD as well. And our app can really help. It has healing tones. It can allow you to reprogram your subconscious mind. When you can shift your perspective to healing and what you want in your life, then that takes preference over what's been happening or what happened to you. So, Karina, definitely, I'm going to put the link of our app down below. Definitely, everybody, if you have not downloaded our app, please do that. It's changing people's lives all over the world, and because it's all about what you focus on, and when you can put that focus on what you want and who you are. I mean, if you wanted to, Samantha, if you wanted to create a vision board for your brother of sending love to him, have your mom download it. Have her start focusing on her life again, because a lot of the times when you're around someone that is going through so much with drugs like this, they have a lot of momentum, and it's very toxic. And
computer,
I would get this if I
Samantha.
had a computer. Yeah, Samantha, we're actually getting this. We're just starting to have this developed to be on computer too. But it's a great app too. I know some people don't really like the whole app thing, but if you're ever going to have an app, you want this to be on your phone. This is a beautiful way of creating unlimited vision boards, and it reprograms your subconscious mind with only what you want.
And also, Samantha, I would recommend that you do sit down with your mother and talk to her,
Thank you.
because the only thing that your mother is doing
Hi, Marike.
is feeding into your brother's addiction and only making it last longer.
Hi, Terry.
You know, and I
It's
know
hard. It's hard.
and I can say, being from a parent standpoint, from your mother's point of view, that it's not easy. You see your child and you want to help your child, but it gets to a point where you're only hurting your child.
Good, Samantha. Glad we're here too.
So definitely talk to your mother.
Yes.
And sit down with her and have a one-on-one, and because only feeding into what he wants, and because I'm sure he doesn't. Does he have a job? Does he work? Because my son didn't work. My son stole. My son was stealing. He was, robbing people, doing whatever it took for money. It was horrible. I mean, I went to the mall one day and saw a picture of my son. I don't know if you've ever seen pictures where they have people stealing stuff. I've seen it in like liquor stores where they have, a picture from the video camera. He was
smart though. He did the whole Walmart thing. What didn't he do?
I mean, these drug addicts are they're smart in a sense, street smart when it comes to getting money, but it ultimately comes back to you.
It does.
So that I agree. Yes, he works.
Okay.
Oh, it's rough. Have you guys had an intervention with him? Have you done anything like that, or is it just
what kind of drugs is he using, Samantha? Is it heroin as well?
Oh, I think it doesn't matter. You got your crystal meth. You got your it's all the same. It's all negative.
It's all negative.
It's a shame.
But
the only person that could help him is himself. Yeah. He's going to have to come to the point one day where he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Because my son Nick even told me, and you sent me.
Well, you know what it was with Nick is he started seeing all of his friends start dying.
Yes.
All of his friends that were using.
My son is 26 years old, and he's been to more funerals than I've been in my lifetime, and I'm 46.
Yeah. Is the app self-explanatory to work? Yes, Nevada. It has a 20-minute video tutorial right from the beginning that shows you step by step on how to use it. Tim, got to go to bed. Thank you and much love. Much love to you, Tim. Keep using the app, sweetie. Everything's gonna shift. It takes a little time, but keep focusing on what you want, dear. It's gonna work. Love you guys so much. You too, Shar.
Thank you, Shar.
Yeah. So yeah, Samantha. Hope this is all, really helping. You guys are here for a reason, and if there's any...
Everybody can only do so much for somebody. Yeah. I mean, you have to want it for yourself.
Absolutely.
That's the main thing for people. You can't change somebody. You can only give your 2 cents, and if they want to give in, that's their prerogative. But
right.
It's not something that you have control over anybody.
Right. And so another thing that I wrote on here is anger is just an emotion. Do not give it any power over you. Right? So again, we have full control over our emotions. And sometimes it doesn't feel that way. But when we can, again, start breathing and bring our balance in and alignment in, it allows us to really get back in our own power. So you have control over your own anger, even though it doesn't seem like it sometimes. But you do, because you can shift that perspective. You can stop your anger and shift the perspective as to what's going on. So someone cuts me off from at work, I'm driving at work, and someone cuts me off. I think, well, they're in more of a hurry than I am.
I always say, I hope you have a great day.
Yeah, good luck. Drive safe.
Yeah, no,
Marika, I need to make a sleeping board. It's the middle of the night here in Holland. There you go. You have our app. That's wonderful.
Wow.
You're both a true blessing and ray of light. Thanks, Mom.
Thank you.
Be authentic. Time for you to do. That's what what's what one of my coworkers told me yesterday. Time for you to do. Time for you to do. Not quite. Okay. Um, yeah. So it's a perspective thing, right? I was at a like a I don't even know what it was. I have so many meetings at my work, but it was like a mind health meeting, and this one CEO of our company, he was talking about anger, and he was saying, I get cut off every day. These drivers here in Charlotte are just awful, and there's not one day that goes on when I don't get cut off. And I thought, oh my God, please stop saying that, because you're just bringing it back. You bring more
Well,
to
because
you.
the more you talk about it, the more
The
you
more you're
attract. Life is
expressing
like
it.
a mirror. The more you
Mm-hmm.
put out
That's
of
right.
what you are talking about or focusing on, the more you're going to
Right.
what's the word I'm saying?
You're going to bring it
You're
back
going to
to
bring
you.
it back to you.
Right.
Exactly.
So when you do start feeling that anger, try not to keep talking about it. What someone did to you over and over again. Like, if you need to talk it out with someone to kind of release it and get it out, I know a lot of people, including myself, I like to kind of talk it out for a little bit, kind of batter it back and forth a little bit until I can get a good perspective on it. But just, you don't want to talk to your coworkers about it and then call your husband about it and then call your friend about it and then go out to dinner and tell them you got, someone cut you off from work. And you don't want to keep bringing that over and over in your life, because you're just building momentum on something negative that's happened.
Hi, Lucy.
Hi, Diane.
Hi, Diane.
My sister's here. It's
Thank
great.
you for joining.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
thank you. So, what I wrote, what came to me, was how to overcome anger, and I thought BPA, BPA. So breathe, B for breathe, right? Because anger makes us stop breathing. For me, anyway, I get shallow breathing. It's hard a little bit, So I always know when I'm getting to that level of not healthy that I need to not, I need to breathe more. So breathe, and then P for perspective. So like we're talking about, perspective. Shift that perspective, and it's easy to do, right? If someone has hurt you, or someone is in the process of hurting you, or you're uncomfortable, or the unknown is making you angry, or something doesn't go your way, then you need to shift that perspective of either saying, okay, well, maybe there's something wonderful that's even better coming my way. Or maybe that didn't work because I need more knowledge or more schooling. Or maybe I didn't get that great job I really wanted, but I'm really angry because my friend got it. Well, you know what? Maybe her child is sick a lot, and she was the one that needed it because of the insurance. I mean, you don't know why things happen.
So many different scenarios.
There's so much that goes on in every little thing that happens. We're so interwebbed and interconnected. There's so much that has to happen for us to have a circumstance, right? Like even when I met Tony Robbins, and like I told Greg, I'm going to sit on the aisle seat and I'm going to hand him our business card. But the truth is that they weren't even supposed to have that seminar. They were supposed to have it in Texas, but because of the hurricane, it got
yeah,
scheduled.
It was canceled,
in
Houston, and Tony said, well, where are we going to have this? And I haven't been in Charlotte in 15 years. That's what brought him to Charlotte.
Yeah.
So everything evolved.
I mean, things I didn't even know that were happening months ago were lining up for certain circumstances to happen. Now, in that case, that was a good thing, but not a good thing, because a lot of people people died, and people lost their homes, and I'm not, what I'm saying is that there's so much that goes into one thing happening. So you can't always focus on that one perspective of they hurt me, or I'm angry because they did this. There's so much that happens that you don't have control over, and that you don't know the why. So your job, your healing, not really a job, but your healing, your self-love, and your self-healing is about releasing and turning that anger into something more positive, and finding that core of what that is. The other part, the B is for breathing, the P is for perspective, and the A is for action. So again, what we were talking about, right? So when you're angry, that is a beautiful emotion because that can be a catalyst for shifting, for changing, right? If someone hurts you over and over again and you're angry, maybe it's time to let that person out of your life. Maybe if you're angry and you don't like the place you're at and things are just making you just frustrated and uncomfortable, maybe it's time to move. Maybe it's time to shift. So look at anger as maybe it's time for a shift. Time for action one way or another. It's either time to walk away from what's making you angry. It's time to look at that perspective, find the core of what that anger really is. And then once you do that, then you need to make an action. You either need to leave or you need to confront or you need to communicate somehow. It's really up to you and the circumstance. But if you can remember BPA, breathe, perspective, and action. I think that's going to help you a lot when you start getting that bubbly feeling inside you, you know, that lava, that volcano that's kind of bursting up. You can catch it before it erupts. That's kind of the key, and you have the power to do that. Christopher, you're awesome. Oh, you're so sweet. Great, Bruce. Yes, so much too, my friend dying. I know. Marike, thank you. Heard what I needed to hear. Now I can go back to sleep again. Good.
Get some
That's
rest.
what it was about. Sweet dreaming, Marike. Or Marike. I'm sorry. I'm totally. Bruce, to see it as perfect to her. Yeah. To see it as perfect to maybe here. I'm not sure. Okay, so you want to do this one real quick? And then we'll go over our boards too.
Well,
Oh, you want to do that one too?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, okay, go for it. I've been talking for a while. It's the Italian in me. And share this, guys. Get this out there. Please share this. We spend our love and our light healing and connecting with you. Please share this at least to your timeline and maybe to some groups. There are so many people that need to hear this tonight.
This was a part of the reading that caught me. If you want to become an impact player, lead other people, and become a leader of leaders, then you really owe it to others to find a way to diminish this negative emotion called anger.
Mm.
So when you're feeling the anger, you're not going to be a leader to other people. They're gonna feel your negative energy. Becoming a leader, not just a leader per se, but a person that has an impact on another person's life, you need to, what I always do is to step back and to analyze the situation. Because when you step back and analyze the situation, you can look at it, if I go this way, this can happen, and if I go this way, this can happen. So I always look at which way is going to be the path of least resistance.
Right.
The path of least resistance is always the path that should be taken, because if not, it could lead to being more angry, being more detrimental to a relationship, because anger can make you say bad things. Anger can make you feel bad. There's so many different scenarios. So always step back and take a look at your situation and analyze it. Don't feel that you can't step back and sit and look at your situation.
Right.
Take your time.
Right.
There's no rush. You have a life, and you can do whatever you feel. So step back and look at your situation. Mm-hmm. Like I was saying, there's no rush in this.
Right. And also what came to me is we put a lot on what we expect, right? Our expectations, I think, can really can shift and bring, that when what we expect to happen doesn't happen, right? Then we're putting too much on our expectations. I'll give you an example. Greg and I went to this great beach for a beautiful romantic weekend, and I wanted to walk on the beach with him. Wanted to see the sunset, and I think it was the Raiders that were playing that night. Remember that? Some football game or baseball or I don't
On the
know.
beach?
No, so he wanted to stay. It was like the big game of the year. I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know sports, but he is. And I remember when we went to Kristen's beach house, right? Okay.
Oh,
All right.
yes.
Okay.
You
So
were angry.
I was angry. I was
Yes.
angry because I had expected us to have this romantic walk on the beach. We don't live by the beach. It was some
It was
anniversary or something for us. I don't know. It was a beautiful weekend, supposed to be planned. And it was our last night there, and I uh, wanted him to go walk on the beach with me, and his game was on. And it was some,
the Raiders playoff game.
there you go, right? Raiders
Go
playoff game.
Raiders.
Go Raiders. Okay. So it was the Raiders playoff game, and I was angry because I was not getting my way. And I ended up leaving without him and walking on the beach without him. And he stayed and watched his Raiders game. And trust me, the first 5 or 10 minutes, I was really mad. I was walking and going, how can he do this to me? You know, it's our weekend. We're supposed to be romantic, and this isn't fair. And I want him here with me, and you know, this is just shitty. Like, this is just not how I expected this to go. You know, how can he hurt me this way? And I know you didn't even really talk, but this is what I was going through in my head. And then I got to the beach, and I realized I was getting angry, right? And I thought, okay, well, here's the thing. I can either continue this feeling, or I need to shift my perspective. So I shifted my perspective, and I thought to myself, well, this really means a lot to him, obviously, because he does love me, and he does care about me. I know you love me.
I love you, and I like the Raiders.
Okay, okay. No, but my
you.
point is, crazy man. My point is that I had to shift my perspective. Instead of focusing on what my expectation was, I had to understand that he really loves the Raiders, even before he met me. That's
I
his
don't love
team.
the Raiders.
Okay,
I
whatever.
love you, but I like
stop.
the Raiders.
But he really loves the Raiders. He loves the game. He's been with them. It's through his family. His dad and him have this bond watching it. I'm not into sports, but just because I don't understand the love for sports and that connection with sports doesn't mean that it's wrong, right? So I shifted my perspective, and instead of coming back and being angry at him, I came back and I said, okay, I understand this. I get this, you know, and I shifted it. I said, I'm disappointed. And I realized that's what it was. It was a disappointment because of my expectations of what I wanted our night to be. And we ended up having a great night. We went to like some beach bar and had like a bean burger and
we had a great
couple
night.
beers, and
we talked about it.
Communicated.
That's the key. Communication is always the key.
But perspective was big, because had I kept that tunnel vision of he's not doing what I want, I'm not happy, he's ruining, right? He's the one that's ruining this vacation, right? If I had held on to that, the rest of our trip, and who knows how big that would have gotten, right? So, you know, there's a saying, pick your battles. I don't even like battles. So I think that you should pick battles. I think that you need to pick perspectives.
I agree with you on that.
Over battles, because you shouldn't battle anything. It should never get to a battle, in my opinion. So
yeah, battles that's a harsh word.
It is a harsh word. So my point of this is expectations can really be a fault for us. And when you can just let it go and let it be and understand the other person's perspective on things and realize that, you know what, he loves football. He loves sports. He's been brought up since he was knee-high to a grasshopper with sports. That's his family. That's his growing up. That's what makes him happy. And for me to love him unconditionally, I needed to focus on recognizing that and appreciating that and accepting that. And then we ended up having a great night anyway. I mean, it worked out fine. So, but just expectations, guys. Watch your expectations, because that can really be a fault to your life if you don't expect anything from anybody, really. And you just focus on what you're doing in your life and what you are focusing on, what you want in life, because you can't control anyone else. You last one here?
Yeah, and I had one more little. Well, actually, it's
Hope that helps. That was a little long story there. We're going over a little bit, but glad you guys are here.
all right.
Hi, Karen. Hi, Sarah. Hi,
Here,
Jennifer.
here's another section of each chapter. Uh, it's called Empower Thought. And what caught my eye was these couple sentences here. Be truthful with yourself and see if you have it somewhere inside of you. Be truthful with yourself and see if you have it somewhere inside of you. That's pretty deep to me, because I like how you said to me about me growing up, loving sports, and you were truthful to yourself when you said that, because you accepted it. You were angry at first and you didn't want to, you wanted me to be on that beach with you, but then you were truthful with yourself and you accepted it because you knew how much it meant to me.
And I also know how much you love me. And you know what I mean? So I had to look and see where you were coming from. It wasn't that I love the Raiders and I don't love you.
It had nothing to do with a team.
No, but it had to do. But in the first, it was a choice. You were choosing Raiders over me. No, but in my head and my heart, that's what was happening.
Well,
but that's what I'm saying. That's how our minds
right.
can take over and shift stuff in our heads. But then when I went and I thought about it more and I stepped away, it was good that we walked away. Because I don't always have to win, and you don't always have to win in a relationship. It's not about winning or losing. It isn't. But in my thought, it was you're choosing that over me for a second until I was but until I was able to really look at it and understand where that comes from.
Oh,
and just because I don't experience that, I didn't grow up.
I've tried to make you experience, but it's not happening.
But I respect it in him, and that's what it's about. Respect and unconditional love.
Right. And there's another part of a sentence here that I wanted to read. I need my glasses. I do need my glasses. Give me a second here.
Thanks for being here, guys. This is awesome. Get this out there. Let's share it. We're almost done here, and then we're going to show our boards, and then we'll call it a night and start a beautiful week.
All right. Remember not to judge. Just recognize that it is there, and find a way to let it go, because I truly believe that when you do that, the way that you live in the world will begin to change. And it does change, because when you didn't judge, well, you judged at first, but when you didn't judge after that, everything changed.
Right.
You saw my point of view, and I saw your point. Well, I saw your point of view right away.
Grabbing my boob.
No.
Yeah, my finger.
No, but
he's doing this the whole time.
Am I?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, they're out there a little bit. I understand.
Yeah.
All right. So.
But no, it was nice that you judged at first, but then you saw my point of view.
Right.
That's the beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And you realized that I like sports, and you made it comfortable for me after. Not comfortable at first, but comfortable after.
Yeah.
So that was good.
It changed our night.
It changed our night.
It changed my perspective on it, because he was dead set. I mean, that was what he was doing. He wasn't swaying. That was what he was going to do.
I was planting seeds a couple days before, saying this game's coming up.
And I was like, yeah, okay, you were walking on the beach. That's what we're
Well, I figured since I was planting seeds, she would know that at this time, on that day.
There you go again.
No, that,
Stop with the hands.
All right,
go over here.
I'll use right hand. You can't see the right hand.
Anyways, yeah.
Okay.
So that was just one circumstance. But yes, exactly. So when you can shift your perspective, which is what we're talking about, and not focus so much on what we want or what our expectation is, And when I can look and say, okay, I'm hurt. Okay, but what am I really hurt about? We had this great night the night before. I know he loves me. You know, we had this great drive down. We had this beautiful future ahead. How important is this one night, really? And then when I was able to see how important his night really was for him, then I was able to shift it and then ultimately change our world or our night together.
Yeah, wonderful night.
Yeah, we did. Absolutely. All right.
Excellent.
Is that it?
Yeah, actually, the next section is questions to
Yeah, I think
ponder.
we'll just let you guys get the book, and you can get this book, 52 words. Yeah. So just to summarize real quick, ways to let go of anger: breathe. You can meditate. You could do yoga. Focus on diminishing it down to the core, right? So normally it's pain or disappointment, hurt or confusion. Those are the four main ones that I've found of what is the instigator, maybe, that makes anger flare. And then perspective, focus on your own self-esteem, bring back the power within, and then make peace be your priority. Anger and peace are on two separate ends of the scale.
And peace will always prevail.
If you allow it, if you let peace prevail, you have the power to choose peace or choose anger. And peace is going to be a lot more healthy. It's going to shift your life into beautiful ways. You're going to bring more beautiful things to you. And so instead of focusing on the anger, focusing on what makes you feel peaceful. And that's going to get you a lot further.
It's beautiful. I like that.
Thank you. All right, so let's show the boards that we made. All right, so get ready, guys. And also, if you have created your own subliminal vision board, because that's the idea with this, guys, is that you're going to go and purchase this book, 52 words, and then you're also going to get our app, Subliminal Vision Boards. I'll put the link down below or up above when this video is over. And then you're going to do this with us so that we can talk about this together, right? So if there's anyone, last week we did affection. That was the first word. And then this week is anger. And then we have the third word that we're going to be doing. So what I'd like you to do is grab this book. It's at the Amazon. And grab our app and start connecting and getting into week 3 with us today. Because then next week, we can talk about that third word.
Good discussion on the third word.
A good discussion because, again, we all have different perspectives on these words, right? So make sure that, it'd be great to have you along with us. That's the main thing. All right, so we're going to show our subliminal vision boards that we did. And,
Awesome.
Again, we do these separately. So go ahead. Do you want to do yours first?
Sure.
Okay. So let's see if we can do this.
Let's see here.
All right, so this is Greg's first board. Hope you guys can see that okay.
Have you seen this yet?
I haven't seen it.
All right. Well, basically what I was trying to do is create the word anger here.
Oh, okay.
And I put...
That says genial, by the way. You can't really see it. I don't know.
No, oh yeah, it's kind of... But the G the word is genial.
That's interesting. Okay.
The first letter A, I put accomplished because I feel that I have accomplished myself in the fact that when I do come across a feeling of anger, I'm balanced and I don't let myself get one-sided. The second word is nice. I feel that I'm a nice person, and when I come across anger, I bring a feeling of niceness into me because I don't like the feeling of anger. Anger is a feeling of toxin in my body, and definitely don't want that in my body. The third word is genial. Genial means friendly and cheerful. So when I'm feeling anger, I tend to get a feeling of friendliness and cheerfulness towards that person that I'm feeling anger with. So I totally try to change the feeling of anger to friendliness. Second word is exuberant, meaning energy and excitement. So I'll try and change the feeling of that person that I'm angered with, to get some energy and some excitement back into the into the way we're dealing with each other.
Okay.
And the last letter is R for rational. I like to think clearly, sensibly, and logically. So when I'm feeling
Can
rational,
you talk to them a little bit?
oh yeah, they can see me.
Yeah. You say you're telling me. Tell them.
Now, when I'm feeling irrational, I can think clearly and sensibly. So that helps me when I'm feeling anger. And also, I overcome anger with positive thoughts.
Okay.
And then I avoid anger emotions with a smile and send positive energy, which
I
always
love
helps.
this. This is beautiful.
Yeah, I created this with the Subliminal Vision Boards app, added in
Oh, you added that in.
yeah, I added that in, made it,
Wow.
and then I put the Ohm symbol in, and you
That's
can,
cool.
yeah, just trying to be a little creative here with this.
You
for
added
each
that
week.
in? It looks like it goes there perfect.
Yeah, it looks like it does, doesn't it?
Wow,
But
yeah.
very
You're so
nice.
creative. I love it. It's so fun with this app because you can do unlimited vision boards. It's so neat because you can layer different things, different images.
You can add your own voice. You can have Zen sounds. You can have
Mhm.
solfeggio frequencies. It's really unlimited to what you can do.
Right.
So it's a great app that can literally change your life.
Right.
And what we like to do, well, Jennifer actually came up with the idea of implementing it with this 52 words for the year. So every week, we create a board. We use we have a feature called Subliminal Take 5 that you know, you stare at your vision board and all the different words pop out and the images pop into your subconscious mind that will start transforming your subconscious for each individual word. And just alone, Jason Tyne, the author of this book, has said, when you do focus on each word each week, this will change your life. So we figured, why not amplify your life?
That's what we're doing. We're reprogramming our subconscious mind with the way that we want to look at what anger is,
And
right?
I'm sure just reading the book alone
Right.
will work, but adding
the app with
app
it.
and the subliminal,
It's
we're
great.
yeah, it's
Because
exciting.
it reprograms your mind. So now when he thinks of anger, he thinks this is great, accomplished, nice, genial, exuberant, rational. So these are gonna flash into his subconscious mind.
They already have all week.
All week, exactly.
Yeah.
This beautiful flower of life, the Ohm symbol. So that's what he's gonna think of when he thinks of anger. He's gonna overcome anger with positive thoughts now. He's gonna avoid anger with a smile. So it's gonna tell him to smile more. So this is how positive and how powerful our app is, especially with doing this book, because now anger is looked at very differently, isn't it?
Very different.
It's amazing how this book, along with our app, really shifts, again, that perspective of what that word is.
Because I've never really looked at the word anger the way I have from reading this book.
Right.
It's really shifted a lot.
It really has. Yeah, definitely.
I've always thought of just anger, I would step back and feel happiness, but there's so much more to the word.
There's so much more to the word, especially depending upon, as we've seen tonight, what we've experienced, abuse, neglect, people passing on,
drug abuse,
death, drug abuse. There's anger is definitely an emotion that our souls, I want to say deal with, but we definitely come across it. We give anger and we have anger. We bring anger to our lives.
And it's how you give it back.
And it's how you work it. It's how you look at it. It's how much you look at it and how you look at it.
And
that's
how
gonna
you express it.
And how you express a different way, a different perspective of it. That's gonna shift your life. Excellent. Is there anything else on this one? Beautiful.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
All right, so I'll do mine real quick. So this was mine. So, so with anger, so the Dalai Lama, he has a beautiful, beautiful story. His whole city or village was completely taken over. I think it was like for the
10
Chinese.
years old or 11 years old at the time when it happened.
Yeah,
And he was escorted out of the
he was
country.
escorted out of the country, and he had a lot of anger for a while, until he was able to change his perspective on it and focus on that peace within and being able to send peace and love out to others. So for me, when I'm feeling a little angry, I'm going to have this flash into my subconscious mind, a picture of the Dalai Lama, because to me, um, he is peace to me, and he represents peace to me, and pure love. So those are what I wanna see or feel when I feel angry. And then I also put I feel calm and peaceful, forgive and let go. I breathe and just allow. I went on Google Images and I found this image and I loved it. With our thoughts, we make the world, right? So our thoughts start everything. Everything starts with a thought.
Because thoughts become things.
Thoughts become emotions. We think of something and that creates an emotion. And that's the order of how it works. It's not, we don't feel and then we think. Usually we think and then we feel. That's just how we're programmed. Our minds are the catalyst of everything. So if you're thinking angry thoughts, you're going to create an angry world for yourself. But if you think positive, happy, loving, letting go thoughts, what you want in your life kind of thoughts, then you're going to create a world of what you really want in your life.
Life is like a mirror. Whatever you do reflects right back at you.
Hi, Beatrice. Hi, Susan. Hi, Colleen. Thanks for joining. And then I added a couple more quotes. Peace starts with me. So again, that peace part is really important to me. So I choose peace over anger. That's my mantra, I think, for anger, is that when I start feeling a little angry about something, or, again, that volcano kind of starts erupting a little, which doesn't happen very often because I'm pretty balanced and I get frustrated. That's my thing. But to me, I don't get to the level of anger, really.
You are balanced.
I'm pretty balanced. But, I'm human too. So I'm going to focus on peace. Peace to me is very important. So then I release all anger inside me, and then I focus on only what makes me happy. So again, if someone cuts me off or something at work, I'm going to go to work and I'm going to sit for 5 minutes and I'm going to look at this board, and it's going to shift my subconscious mind into really focusing more on peace and happiness and forgiveness and that type of thing. And then this is a really important quote for me. So the really cool way about using our app is that sometimes I love quotes. And so a lot of times I don't really know where I want to start with my board. So what I'll do is that, like for this, I looked up, because for me, anger is about acceptance. So the times that I have gotten angry, it's when I have been wanting more for somebody, to do something, and they're not doing it. Like certain things with my family, when they're doing something that's beneath their highest potential. I wish they chose better. Does that make sense? I wish they made better decisions for themselves. And so that angers me sometimes, and I have to look at that and realize that, that's their life and that's their choice. And as much as I want more from them, I can't get angry because they're on their own path and they're doing their own thing. And I've made decisions and things in my life that I've been angry about as well for myself, but I'm on my own path as well. So this was a very, very big quote for me. And it said, accept the person and the situation for exactly what it is, instead of trying to manipulate it into what you think it needs to be. And that really grabbed me, because acceptance is big for me. And when I can accept the person and send love to them, or accept the situation as it is, and not pour energy, beautiful energy that I need for myself, into wanting to change something or someone.
It's all about accepting.
It's all about
Because you have
accepting.
no control of what the others are doing.
So, and I'm learning that. That's my lesson. That I continually learn is because when I can accept it, then I can breathe, I can shift the perspective that they're on their own path, and then I can take action. And my action for that needs to be go back to your own life, Jennifer. Mind your own business, send them love, and move on. And that's what I do. So this was my board, my anger board. And
It's so funny because when you think of anger, you think of angry things.
but that's the beautiful thing
Yeah.
about our app is that, and guys, that's what you want to do. So whatever it is that you want to work on, whatever you want to heal, whatever you want to manifest in your life, the best thing that I think you can do is to shift that perspective and create a board of a positive aspect of that. So if you are, if someone really hurt you, maybe cheated on you, then and you're having a hard time forgiving that person, right? Then I would create a forgiveness board or a self-love board. So you don't want to create a board of he cheated on me and he sucks and I hate him and I'm going to go and slash his tires kind of board. Because that's going to create, what's that one song, right? But that's going to create not the energy that you want. That's going to create more momentum of that anger. So instead, what you want to do is search within and say, okay, he really hurt me or she really hurt me. But I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on the healing or the lesson of that. So I'm going to create a forgiveness board, or I'm going to create I'm badass. You know what? I'm going to create a self-esteem, self-confidence board. I'm going to create, instead of a I'm never going to let anyone hurt me again board, instead I'm going to create I'm love, I'm light. Everyone that comes to me is truthful
Yeah,
and loving.
it will only help you continue to grow within yourself.
So this is a growing app. So you want to focus on what you want it to be, right? Maybe not what it is. Maybe you're hurting right now, and I understand that. I get that. But in order for you to get through that, you have to reprogram your subconscious mind with what you want it to be. And it all starts from within. It all starts from within.
And the beautiful thing about our app is that you can use it for anything.
Yeah.
This is not limited to any one niche. You have weight loss, you want a new car, you want a new job, you're feeling bad, create a good board, create a love board, create a confidence board. This can be used for anything. It's all about what you want.
Right, exactly. We created an affection board last time.
That's my affection
board. That's
board.
his affection board. So I love that with the bird. It's so pretty.
I even added in the bird.
That was my affection board. So for me, these were, I'm going to show more. And you know what I give boo-boos 20 minutes of affection every day. I make a point. I'm reprogramming my mind to do that. Boo-boos is our kitty. Yeah.
And the nice thing is the twist to our app is that, for example, if this, go back to the board. If this was your vision board and you did a subliminal take 5 on this, you would stare at this vision board for 5 minutes, and as you're staring at your board, each image and each text will flash into your subconscious mind, thus accelerating the law of attraction to make it happen that much faster for you.
Right, so you're consciously looking at it. You've got maybe your own voice or your own music, and then you're subconsciously hitting your mind as well. And you can use your own photos too, which I think is great, because we have so many photos on our phones that sit there. So when we did this affection board, I put one of my favorite pictures of Greg and I, a couple of nice quotes. So, this is fully customizable, and I'm just really excited for all of you to be here with us.
And I just want to say thank you for joining us tonight. It was a great time.
I'm
enjoying doing this more and more. Yeah. Good. No, this is good.
Good. Yeah. No, it's great. And you know what? Bring your husband or boyfriend or girlfriend or wife, or your friends. You know, you can even have like a night, have like a bottle of wine and come sit down and you know what? Create your own boards and do us a favor. And the boards you do create, if you feel up to it, just share a little picture of it on the comments. We would love to see your boards. We'd love to
most definitely
see your creations and just,
it makes
hear
us
a little
happy to
bit.
see people creating vision boards like this.
Yeah, it's great because we know that you're reprogramming your mind and that you're focusing on what you want. Hi, Kathy. So does anyone have any questions? We're going to be doing our next word next week.
What is the next word for next week?
Next week, our word is anxiety. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. A lot of people have a lot of anxiety.
Until next week.
Yeah. Anxiety. Let's reprogram our mind of anxiety. Excuse me. And when you get the book, if you want to do that.
I can't pull it up.
Let me try. Okay. I have anxiety. Yeah, so definitely, Deanne, let's definitely. So when we first started this, we had already done the first word, so we're kind of behind a week. So let's go ahead and have everyone this week. Let's just have you all start with anxiety. It sounds really bad, but but let's start the third chapter together, because what I really want is for us to be on the same word together, so that you can go along with this book with us in the chapters. So you can say, maybe there's a certain part in the book that you have a question about, or that it really touched you, and we can talk about it, because that's what we're here for. What book next week? Okay, so it's the 52
same book every
words.
Week.
Yeah, every week there's a book. I mean, every week there's a book. Every week there's a word. And so every week, normally on Friday nights, but I think we might be, do you like Sundays?
Well, I'm out of town.
Yeah, he gets out of town. So I think we might be doing this on Sunday night. I like Sunday nights.
Sunday nights work.
Want to do Sunday nights? What do you think? Sunday nights around 8 o'clock? Does that work for everybody? We might be doing that. But the book is 52 words, where we choose the next word a week, and we use this as a workbook throughout the week. And then we also create a subliminal vision boards. And I really think that when we do this together, it's going to be so much more powerful. So I need to get the book. Good. Well, I'll put the link.
Put the link in the description.
I'll put the link up above for the book, and also our app is for iOS and for Android. So I'll put that up there too. And let's do this together.
Yeah, I can't wait to see everyone's boards.
Oh, that would be fun. Oh, that would be so much fun. Share your boards.
Be creative. Have fun with this.
Yeah.
This is about having a good time.
Collaboration. Exactly, Deanne.
Awesome, Deanne.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get the book. Let's get the app. And let's everyone do chapter 3. We'll just start with chapter 3. And we'll start with anxiety. The word anxiety. And so use this as a workbook. Like I said, we write it all. We write all kinds of stuff. We start from the beginning, and we just feel what that word is in the beginning. And then by the time that we've read this,
and go through the book and write out certain points that really affect you. And then we can discuss them together.
Yeah, and you know what, Deanne? Everything for the book and the app, you're talking, I think, like $7 for everything.
I think you can download it on Kindle even.
I'm not quite sure, but yeah, either way, it's less than $10 for both. And we're talking a year workshop. So it's going to be the best $10 of your life, because you've got this amazing book, you've got this amazing app, and you've got us. So this will be fun. We'll have a good time together. And we're really going to, really shift that perspective. And I really hope that tonight's message about anger has really helped you guys, because I know it helped us. It helped us a lot,
Yeah,
and we're not really angry people per se, but, anger is just a normal emotion that we can have the control over it.
Exactly.
So we don't have to let that control us anymore. You need to take the power within, the power you already have within you. Take your power back, and never let any emotion, any negative emotion control you. You have control over every emotion that you feel. It's just a matter of how long you want to carry that and what you want to do with it. Deanne, awesome, good stuff. Excellent, guys.
Once again, thank you for joining us.
And thank you for
we had a great
sharing
time.
this. Get this out there to your friends, to your family. Because you know what? We're just people. We're just real people that want to help and heal. And sometimes you just need to hear it from a different perspective. And that makes all the difference in the world.
It does.
Hopefully,
it really does.
Hopefully that's our perspective for you.
I'm glad we can spend time with you all. I appreciate it.
Mom, thank you, dear ones. Enjoyed this so much. Good. All right, guys. Good night, everybody. We love you.
Take care.
Say we love you.
Love you all. Have a great night.
Yeah, definitely.
And, namaste.
Namaste. Sweet dreaming and sweet manifesting.
Manifesting is key.
All right. Love you guys. Thank you for all the hearts
We'll see
and
you
thank you
next
for
Sunday.
being here. Bye.